Marvel is dead. He is goddamn dead.
Not unless he's a superhero. But you know what? I like the way my man is looking at you. Is he, Martin? In the year 2020, we have pretty much 11 and a half months left before it's all done. I said, why not sit back and talk about the movies that we're actually looking forward to coming out. Now, we've already seen, about 2 or 3 movies already that we might have had on our list, but there's still a whole lot of movies out there that we're looking forward to. And so what I did was I made a list of the top 15 movies plus 5. They were able to bring a guest in.
Just don't want to call it.
No, I don't want to call it top 20, no. Top 15 and guest. They on the list. Yeah, we can go ahead and say top 20. I'll tell you why I did, why it ended up being a top 15 and then a separate 5.
Okay.
The reason why is because some of the things that I'm looking forward to, there are no trailers out for that. So what I did was I made a top 15 of movies that I have seen, and I know clearly why I want to see it. And then there's some I just heard about, or some that they're talking about. And I said, those would be very interesting too, but I haven't seen anything for them yet. I'm going to go ahead and give my 15 and then the other 5. And then I'm going to bring up some that Martin has on his list that I did not put in there. And I'm going to start, as we do with lists, we like to work up to number 1, keep people interested. I'm going to start out with number 15. And at number 15, we have Wonder Woman 1984. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to play to that part. I love that. I love the way Chris Pine, y'all just let Negroes just dance in the streets in 1984 in the white part of town, too. Shit, this is like Planet of the Apes, so they just take it over. And I love superhero movies. I mean, y'all know, I don't have to explain to you how much I love Marvel, but then DC does something great, and when y'all think I'm hating on DC, or when we're hating on DC, then we'll say, hey, man, something. In a way, they're doing a better job than Marvel right here. But it is, nevertheless, a superhero movie. And superhero movies, I mean, listen, they are what they are now. We pretty much know what to expect from them. But this is on the list because I'm curious to see what they will do with this character now that we are in a drastically different time period. I think it's pretty cool the way movies have a way of going in and playing with time periods, that is. And 80s is definitely something that's, with Stranger Things out there, and even Guardians kind of riffing on the 90s. On the 80s and the 70s. It's like, all right, I'm interested to see what they would do with people from World War II era, World War I era, hanging out with people in the very flamboyant 80s in a way. And I'm also curious to see what this movie's going to do, because I liked the first movie, but I hated that ending. I thought the climax was terrible. But one of the things I did like about it was the humor. And it looks like they're going to amp up the humor here a little bit more because, they got a fish out of water thing, even more so than the last movie. This plays a bigger part here.
It's all art. That's just a trash can.
It's just a trash can. Yeah.
That's what it did. I'm going by trailers, really, because I have nothing else to go by. And if you can sell me on humor, or you can sell me on the story or a good premise, this is selling me on the humor that they have here and pretty much the premise of the time period. So that's why I'm thinking like Wonder Woman 1984. Out of a lot of superhero movies, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it seems inspired. It's funny because with the first Wonder Woman movie, it's like, oh, you kind of took elements from Thor and Captain America put them together, and then here it's almost like you guys went, well, what Thor doing his third movie again?
Yeah,
all right, we can do. You can use some of that.
Yeah, and they really are ripping on what do you call it? Ragnarok, man, with all the colors and everything.
Wonder Woman is the best character in this DCEU. So Gal Gadot is nailing it, and everything I see here, I dig a lot. My only real concern, and it is a real concern, is Kristen Wiig and how she's going to fit in as Cheetah. because I haven't seen anything of that.
Yeah.
And I get holding it back for a mystery. It's just that, the villains were what were the weakest part of the first movie.
Yep. The way they're putting her out there, they almost giving her like a Catwoman vibe from Batman.
Right. Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
That whole like, I'm just like a mousy person, and then now I got powers and I'm evil.
Yeah.
It's like,
Again, I got cat powers.
Yeah.
So I think that over the villains that they had in the last movie, they've given her more of a spotlight. She's got more of a personality. So I'm also curious, and with hesitation, at what she'll do. But I'm feeling a little bit better about her.
I mean, it could be another one of those situations where, God damn, I love this movie to death, except for these parts.
Yep. Yeah. You never know, but it does. As you say, I think a good thing you said was inspired, man. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of stuff that's coming out that's, of course, that is superhero related, or you got your big superhero tent poles coming out. But this one right here is the one that really has me intrigued.
Well, the superhero movies and the genre, it's like the zombie genre, as you've pointed out, where it's open enough the way they can do everything.
Yeah,
I mean, or they can do anything. And some of them push it. And they kind of sneak up on you because everybody goes like, well, man, you've seen one, you've seen them all. And it's like, not really.
Yeah.
You sleep on them, and they'll do something really cool that no other movie is doing.
That's right. And I know they're probably not going to include this in the movie. I'm aware of that. But, again, you're selling me on something. I'm buying, man. They had me with that song.
Right?
Yeah, girl, get him!
I mean, you say Wonder Woman 1984, you play that song, you're like, yep, that's 1984, you got it.
New Order, right? Yeah. Number 14.
At what cost?
He ain't laughing now.
What cost? Your ass. Sorry, ass.
All the color drained out of her face.
Yeah, this is Morphius. I hear a lot of people talking about, what? Are you serious? You know what? I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was all good up until that blood thing.
Yeah.
Wait, I can get buff without exercise?
Oh yeah.
Increase strength?
Yeah, I get superhuman strength. I can stay young forever. Oh, and I got to eat motherfucker. Shit. Can't win them all.
I'm thinking.
Catch everything. Yeah. I know y'all like, what, Corey? Now, just be say you trolling. No, listen. Be honest with you, I don't even think this shit's gonna be good. I don't even like the trailer, to be honest with you.
Really?
The reason why I'm looking forward to this because I want to see how they're gonna f this up. I just want to see just how much they're gonna f up Spider-Man. Now I'm gonna be cutting out. Listen, I ain't hating against the movie or anything. It's more of a curiosity why it's on my list. I want to see just how much they'll f Spider-Man up and just throw Marvel completely off, if that will indeed happen. It's sort of a petty reason why it's on this list, but it is a reason why I am looking forward to this movie. I just want to see what's going to happen with this. Now, I don't want to be a complete hater. I don't want to seem like somebody who is completely petty here. I also am taking under consideration that some of your best superhero movies have come out of characters that nobody gave a shit about.
Exactly.
Some who happen to be vampires.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Starting with the original.
Blade, listen, Marvel has had a lot of success. I know this ain't Marvel, so this is why I can't really give them complete credit here. And this is Sony. So that is why I'm not hyped up too hard for this. But, they might be going by the Marvel plan. Marvel went in and took characters that nobody really cared about and made big hits out of them because they didn't have, they went to the bargain bin because that's all they had. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody else took their shit. Like, here's the trash.
All right, give me Spider-Man. That's not in there no more.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. What Marvel worked with was scraps. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't like what they're doing here, but we don't know yet. This might not even be in the same universe as the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
I feel like just watch this again that it's not.
Yeah.
In as much as that poster that he runs by. That was Tobey Maguire's suit.
I railed on that too and thought like y'all can't even get the Spider-Man right, and that's and some people say that's the Spider-Man from the PS4 game.
Oh,
Yeah, so like it is the Tobey Maguire suit that you get in the game. So I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to work out. It is sort of almost a morbid curiosity, but I'm hoping to also be pleasantly surprised by this. You know, because they letting you know. I like the way they put Venom last.
well,
Brought to you by all the people that made the good Spider-Man movies. Oh yeah, and Venom. You know, that was a hit on
Say
accident.
what you want about Venom, it was a hit.
No, it was.
So it's something they can brag about.
But I like the way they put like Marvel shit first.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's what you lead with.
From this other studio that brought you good shit. Oh yeah, and us. But I really do want it. Do I want it to be good? Yeah, I want everything I see to be good. And I think a lot of times, you know, you can be pleasantly surprised by the characters that you least expect from.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, comic book wise, I never really cared that much about Morphius.
Yeah.
And hearing they were going to make a movie of him, I was like, okay, if that's what you want to do, they got me wanting to see it. Now, you are bringing me back to reality. It's like, yeah, but this is still the same people that made Venom.
Yeah.
But I remember watching the trailer for Venom, and I was so unenthused by it. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to like this. And sure enough, I didn't. So I'm looking at this trailer. I'm liking what I see. Yeah, well, you know.
We'll see.
Ready to see what happens.
We'll see. You and I are on opposite ends of the trailer as far as liking it, but I think we both have the same enthusiasm for wanting to see it. And I think we both want it to be good.
Oh,
You know, when
absolutely.
it's all done. My number 13 anticipated movies of 2020.
Are you okay?
Someone sitting in that chair.
Talking about The Invisible Man. Now, you know, I'm curious to see if Universal has learned anything ever since being laughed out the room for this goddamn dark universe. Yeah, laughed right out the room the moment before the Mummy even started.
I know.
After an experience like that, I think they might be trying to go back to basics with these Universal monsters, and if this is a hit, maybe we'll see what they can do by trying to keep these characters close to their roots. You know, it gives me hope for this remake right here. You know, it has more of a. I know some people have compared it to like Hollow Man in a way.
Yeah, what else would you compare it to?
Well, I mean, you can also compare it to the original Invisible Man, where you know you have somebody who pretty much has his power and lets it corrupt them terribly.
I found something that can prove what I'm experiencing.
You need help.
Adrian is dead. I today.
She's scared as. Yeah,
I came here believing you, but now I'm looking in your eyes.
yeah, I know. She's looking at me like, I want to believe you, but you on that shit again, ain't you? Nah, you know, I've always thought that the Invisible Man was a fascinating character. You know, I've always thought it was kind of weird just being stalked by a naked man in the room. You know, who you
Putting his dick on your shoulder.
yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a dick on my shoulder right now.
Don't you see the dent? Or he's just rubbing his dick all over everything in the room. Where these skid marks come from? But you know, out of all those monsters, this is the one I thought was the most intriguing. I think, you know, they had an idea of trying to make Johnny Depp be the Invisible Man when they're trying to make them superheroes.
Right.
And now they're going back into like trying to make horror films. And I always thought the Invisible Man was a great idea for making a sci-fi horror film. I think she needs a good hit too, man. What's her name? Elizabeth Moss. I like her. My number 12 movie that I'm looking forward to this year. A lot of people gonna be like, "What?" But I'll explain why.
Maybe don't do that again.
don't sexually assault me again.
When the dog has to tell you.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't have hands. You, come on.
Hashtag Ruru.
Look around, man. The clean, modern aesthetic, the cool blue color palette. We're in
IKEA.
the Falcon.
You know, I think this could be fun. Thing is, I was raised on Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah.
At the time, and you know, I used to love Scooby-Doo, and you know, that's a bit of nostalgia playing for me. But I'm just happy that they just dropped this whole thing, this weird ass CG dog right here. You know, this version of Scooby-Doo, and what's his name, Matthew Lillard. He made a good Shaggy, man, but those movies were not all that great.
They were terrible.
Yeah, if they're gonna do a movie, I like that they're trying to take it back to the more traditional roots. Of course, they're gonna do CG, but I don't mind that. But the real reason why is because, you know, they said that they might be doing something that a lot of people have been wanting to see them do with Scooby-Doo, especially on a grander scale. They say, you know, they're going to be bringing a lot of the Hanna-Barbera characters in there.
Really?
Yeah, like Birdman and Captain Caveman, and you know,
shit.
so they might have some wacky racist shit kind of thing going on.
Oh, well, now that you say all that.
Yeah, you know, once I heard that, I was like, this could be fun. If you're a fan of that era of Hanna-Barbera.
They can work Dick Dastardly in there. I'm all about this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do it, but I heard that they have some things they're not showing yet.
Ooh.
So I'm kind of curious to see what that is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's I know.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they'll do with it as far as bringing in the Hanna-Barbera universe. Again, that's because I was raised on that shit as a kid.
Of course.
I love
Same
that.
here.
Somebody said, chill, Corey, that's my childhood. Bitch, that's my childhood too. What you talking about? What,
Captain Caveman.
Scooby-Doo, whether you like it or not, it's been a part of every kid's generation since it's come out.
Yeah.
And I want them to have a good Scooby-Doo, man. For the children.
Well, there's been some good Scooby-Doo series lately.
Let's go ahead and get to the number 11 movie on my list right here.
There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s, it's like The Walking Dead. Who are you?
We're talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife. What some people calling Stranger Things Season 5. Well, Fred, let me just say this. I'm happy that they're just not remaking the same goddamn movie anymore.
Exactly.
They've made Ghostbusters 3 times already. The same
movie.
film.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, all right, you know what? Even if they are making Stranger Things, it ain't the Ghostbusters that we've seen 3 times over. I want to know if this. I want to know if this is the right way to go. You know, we're finally doing something a little different, and I'm very curious to see if this direction will work. Even if it is riffing on the 80s like everybody's doing, even if it is what we see on Netflix now and whatnot, I'm glad to see them taking a hint and doing something completely different as far as the franchise goes. And I like that they just haven't totally it's not a reboot as far as a complete reboot.
Have the original characters show up and just cameos.
Yeah, the original cast. I mean, minus, you know, Harold
Ramis.
Ramis, of course, who's dead, but even he's left his mark. His character has left his mark in here. I think that's his granddaughter.
Yeah.
In the movie. So
yeah, no, as long as the original guys aren't trying to step in and be major characters, I'm cool.
Yeah, same here, man. So again, I don't even know if this will be good because it is derivative of some things we've seen already. But I'm hoping the best for them. And Jason Reitman is you know, Ivan Reitman, the director of Ghostbusters. He's involved, so I'm hoping that he don't want to go in and shit on his daddy's legacy right here. I'm liking that we have Ant-Man. What's his name?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
I was gonna say that also. It's like plus it's got Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, and he's not being too Paul Ruddy. I like that. I like seeing people grow. The number 10 anticipated movie on my list.
Long time down.
Yes.
Who is it? Dead. He is goddamn dead.
Not unless he's a superhero. But you know what? I like the way my man is looking at you. Is he, Martin? Are you kidding me? We're talking about, what is it? Which one are you on? Fast and Furious 9 now?
Yeah, F9.
F9.
Jacob is Dom's brother.
Even he's like, what the f? What? I didn't know I had a brother. Who wrote this shit? What? You're like, I'm just stupid. He ain't family.
Your whole life, you pushed yourself to be faster than Dom. Stronger than Dom.
His arms just would have been hanging on that bar.
Well, his hands wouldn't have been able to grip it.
You know what? I'll give him the hands. He's a big mother strong. I'll give you the hand, but them arms gonna come off.
Look, either the hands are gonna give or the arms.
Okay, we'll split halfway. He'll break at the elbow. But are you kidding me? Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Who the doesn't want to see how this shit works out? Man, Martin, this is just the trailer right. Like somebody just said in the chat, F9, that's 9 not given right there.
There's nothing more powerful than the love of family.
But we gonna go out together.
You know I'd rather.
We're looking at the trailer, and y'all know how crazy this shit got. We're looking at just the trailer. I gotta do it again. Tarzan, what they say, Carzan. If they got the balls to do that, just think of the crazy shit they gonna do in this movie.
Especially at the end.
It's like, again, I'm not saying this is gonna be good, but I just want to see.
Okay, as long as we establish that.
Oh, this is another Morphius case. I don't even think this is gonna be good. I mean, it might be so stupid, it's amazing. But if y'all have the nerve to show us shit like this, like people act like gravity don't even exist in this shit. Everybody made out of rubber. I don't give a. If they got the nerve to do that, give you cars and all that, just think about the shit that they had the balls to do in this movie, the actual movie. Think about the shit we're not seeing.
I know.
Everything you either dreamed of or feared, we are going to do. They tease that shit.
Please tell me that's not a Pontiac Fiero strapped to a rocket engine?
Impressive.
They are going into space. Oh. They just told you.
Yeah.
We got and on top of that, we're going to space in a Pontiac.
It would be hilarious if the last we see of Tyrese, where he hits a hill, and pops straight up in the air and just leaves the atmosphere.
You know, of course. You know what? I think right here, it'd be so funny if they just got tired of Tyrese and just sent his ass to space. Like this was all a setup right here.
Because
My ass is in fuego!
Well, now that he's gone.
I mean, it feels like they're blowing their wad. They know they gotta really go for it in the next one in 10.
Oh yeah, they know. And
they're not gonna leave anything behind.
And they're saying, "Hey, don't worry." Have we not ever been able to stop that last piece of stupidity that we did? Have we not ever been able to get too stupid? No. We don't get Martin. There's at this point when gravity don't even exist, the possibilities are endless. What character they're gonna write off, or what character they're gonna kill just to bring them back?
Guys. Surprise.
Nice clubhouse.
Asian bro. I tell you, I'm not as big of a fan of these movies as everybody else, but they have now hit the tipping point where I'm like, okay, no one gives a anymore. Let's go. I'm good.
You say that every time.
No,
and then after it's done, you're like, that was too stupid.
No, Martin. There's no such thing as too stupid anymore. I used to think that, but now I see that it's not.
We do this over and over.
But that was before they pretended like physics existed. At this point, they don't care. They really don't. This is, I'm looking at these movies now. I'm like, this is not even about Earth. This is another dimension somewhere. We got all these challenges here. I don't know.
The Vin Diesel challenge. Just grab a friend and jump off a roof.
And they might have that the grab your brother and jump off a building challenge. Yeah, YouTube, here we come.
Jesus, man, look at that.
Yeah.
Even
I can tell you what's gonna happen too. It should be blood. It's just gonna be a crater, and they just gonna get up.
Yeah. The only thing that could possibly save them is if a truck that had nothing but mattresses on it was to drive by at that moment,
or just a plain truck. Because what will happen is they'll fall and the truck will explode, but they'll walk out.
They'll probably land on it. They'll probably land on the top of a
Do
truck.
you doubt it for this movie? They'll kill the drive and explode, but they'll come out still fighting each other.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're gonna land. Some vehicle's gonna drive under them, and they'll land on it.
Yeah.
And just keep on going.
And keep going.
As if that impact meant nothing.
It'll mean nothing, man. I tell you why I really look forward to this, because this is the point where it does make me believe it, that like more than ever. And we joke about it, but listen, I'm gonna throw it out there again. But this is the point where I will believe that this is the crossing point into robots, transformers, dinosaurs, and true superheroes and supervillains.
Yeah.
Now that we are here, because all those others didn't really have supervillains.
Right.
But shit, Idris Elba's in the mix now. That mother is a super science fiction villain. We have arrived now. So this world I can deal with now. Before, when y'all were just playing like y'all on Earth, nah, get the out of here. Now that we've traveled dimensions, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Bring Optimus Prime in here, please. My number 9 most anticipated movie of the year.
We take as the subject of tonight's lecture Mr. Moses Rosenthal.
Freedom. Full stop.
I'm naked, Mrs. Clemens.
I can see that.
This is Wes Anderson's The French Dispatch. And what I like about Wes Anderson's trailers a lot of times is that I don't know what the hell is happening. You know, Wes Anderson's a weirdo, man. And I like that. But I don't know what this is about. Is Wes Anderson doing what he does? You know, that's the only thing I can say about it. He's predictable in his style. You can always expect him to do some sort of new wave 60s pop art type thing or art house type thing. But he'll always have some new wave soundtrack in his movies. But his stories sometimes can be some of the most unique stories that's told in Hollywood. And he has a visually unique way of telling them. I actually like I like this kind of this art house new wave style. I like his style. I like the music that he uses. I like his compositions, even though they've become, just kind of a staple. Some people may say he's redundant. Some people say he's an auteur. But I do think that he's one of the.
He can be both.
And he can be both, I like the cast that he pulls together for a lot of his films. Some new, some old. Some people he's worked with before. Some new that he's bringing in. You always get the feeling like he's not really doing it for the money a whole lot of times. He's doing it because he really does have a unique vision. From his animated films to his live action movies. I'm a big Wes Anderson fan. I just don't say it a lot of times. I don't feel like hearing a bunch of art snobs when they're in the room start speaking up. Because those fans are fanatics, man.
I know. And I thought I was a fan until I got around enough of them. And when I saw Moonrise Kingdom, I was like, all right, I'm not a fan, but I do like some of his work. And the things I like a lot. Things I don't like, I hate.
Yeah.
And so seeing that he had this coming out, I was like, oh no, what's this going to be? But then I have to remember that I really loved his last couple movies.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, Grand Budapest Hotel and Isle of Dogs. And this looks a lot more like Grand Budapest Hotel. So that's got me going like, okay, yeah, this would be on my list.
That's what I'm thinking too. I really love Grand Budapest Hotel. Man, I love that movie. This movie reminds me of that
I
too.
like it because so many he has too many movies that are all about I'm just a sad weirdo and everybody around me is awkward.
Everybody's a hipster.
Yeah.
They're hipster. That's what they're hipster movies, man.
Yeah, they're hipster movies where it's entirely populated with hipsters. It's like there's no balance here.
Yeah.
There's no contrast.
If you get them, I can tell you that right now. If there's a movie hipster that that mother is going to either he or his girlfriend is going to dress up as Moonrise Kingdom at some party one year, some Halloween party, costume party. But he, I am a fan. I love it. I love the way he works with colors, man. 60s is a period of filmmaking that I love. It's a period of art that I love, of interior design that I love. I love that style. I love the clothing. I love the decoration. And he captures.
He can really capture it. I mean, that's the thing. I can say some of his movies I don't like, but when you look at all the production that goes into it, you see somebody who really cared about getting things a certain way.
I'm not as fanatical about his films as some people are, but I truly do love his style and I do love his movies. So that's pretty high up on my list right there. Let's get to the number 8 film on my list.
A favor, brother. You're the only one I trust for this.
Name?
Bond.
Oh, shit. Are you here for me? Hey, man, I paid those tickets already. Normally, a James Bond movie wouldn't even be high on my list like this. It wouldn't be on my list at all. Listen, we know what James Bond does, man. James Bond kills people. He blows shit up. He has a martini. He some chick. He goes to sleep, wakes up, and does that shit all over again the next day.
All in a tuxedo.
All in a tuxedo, too. Well, he's even like he just like wears suits now. He's like, I got to cut loose a little bit. Right. He didn't wear tie no more. It would not be on my list normally. And I love James Bond, but James Bond can be hit or miss because of the same thing. It repeats all the time.
Yes,
which is cool. That's what James Bond does. But that's what I like about this Daniel Craig series of James Bond movies. They've all kind of been connected, telling one whole story. Mm-hmm. And the reason why this is on my list is because it's unique in that way, in that I wonder what kind of closure they're going to bring to this story, what kind of closure they're going to bring to this James Bond. And if they will actually go all the way with either having him retire, or maybe he does leave the business because of he's found love. Shit, man, they killed this motherfucker. I don't know. But I just want to see what they do with this, because they have presented a story arc.
Sure, and it's him. In every way, this is the final Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with. Him wanting to quit and them actually gonna let him quit. This is good. I've not been a fan of his series, and yet every time I see this trailer, I get excited about this particular movie.
I would like to see what they would do with this character and close this series out. I really do hope that they can close this story arc and reboot it. And no, when I say reboot it or do something else, I don't think they're going to do anything with this other 00 agent right here. I forgot the actress's name. Mm-hmm. They're making a big deal about her being an equal to James Bond, but being a black chick.
Yeah, I hope she's not letting that gas her up, because they told Halle Berry the same thing.
Yeah. Them being able to kind of do different things with this Daniel Craig, as small as they may be, the little touches that they've done to make it its own. I'm curious to see what they will do with wrapping it up, and see if they will actually just restart it again with a whole new story arc, a fresh James Bond. Because if they do that, this is what I said watching the trailer. If they do that, quit trying to do this thing of we need a black Bond, we need a female Bond, we need an Asian Bond. Don't force it. Now, if you decide to introduce new story arcs over several movies, reboot it that way, then you can do those things.
Sure.
The way they wrap this up can introduce new possibilities for future James Bond versions, ways that make sense if you do want to include diversity. So let's go to the number 7 movie that I have on my list of most anticipated movies of 2020.
Whoever did this has another motive.
You want to play games, mother?
You see that puppet on that little tricycle? No. This is Saw Spiral. And I tell you, my reasons are just a little bit shallow for this, but I just want to see a Chris Rock Saw movie. I want to see what Chris Rock does with horror. I'm trying to. I want to support Chris Rock. First of all, Chris Rock in a horror movie is great. That brother has some great death scenes.
Scotty, help me! I'm gonna die.
It's one of my favorite death scenes ever. That's him as a crackhead in New Jack City. That brother, he knows how to die. I'll tell you that. But I think Chris Rock has been trying to enter a new point in his career.
Yeah.
He's trying to do things outside of comedy. And I want to back him up on that. I'm always excited. It gives me chills to see people who want to go and try something different. To see people who want to work outside of their comfort zone and think about their career. He's about to be, he's in his 50s now. Mm-hmm. And still a funny guy, but I believe that he's thinking about his career.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. And Chris Rock doing a horror movie. That's something we never expected, and that's why I love that. Let me see here. All right, let's go ahead. We're about to get into the top 5 now. But before we do that, we got to hit number 6. And at number 6, we have This is Antebellum, Janelle Monáe. Now, the reason why I put this on the list is because everybody has been asking for a Get Out. Every time there's a black person near horror, it's like, even with Chris Rock, they're like, oh, this is a new Get Out. Chris Rock and Saw, oh shit, this is it. Nah, man, everybody wants that new Get Out. I got this on the list, and I'm bringing up Get Out is because I think that this might be the closest thing that we'll have to it if this works out like some people are saying. The reason why I say that is because this is playing, what deal what Get Out is, or looks like it might be doing what Get Out did, which is it plays on the theme of what white people take for granted might be straight up horror movies for black people. Mm-hmm. For example, going back in time. Black people ain't trying to go back in time. I mean, y'all trying to go back in time? Because I thought you said, yeah, I want to go. No, going back in time. This looks like this is something where you have a woman from modern times who's being put on a plantation somewhere due to some supernatural sources right there too. But to me, that I'm not Get Out is its own thing. I'm not looking for another Get Out. No. But this looks like it's going along those themes right there, and it could be pretty cool.
I had not seen any of this. When I was looking at list, I saw Antebellum. I saw one site had that picture of them all eating dinner, and another had the little girl right there in the hallway, and I had no idea that was all from the same movie.
Really, bruh says, you know what? I'll go back to 2010 and buy some Bitcoins. That's about it. Yeah, I'll go back to 1994 and get stock at Amazon. But past the 70s, it's like, nah,
that's all right.
Maybe 69. Maybe I'll
no,
you
don't
can.
Want to do that.
You can. You can go. I can hang out with Jimi Hendrix. I can go to Woodstock. Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix used to get his ass beat by the cops. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, but he was, he had a white woman though.
And what would you be doing, sir?
Probably dying.
Hanging out with Jimi Hendrix, so you could die at 27 also.
Yeah. I'll die rocking, man.
Bring up my boy Corey Coleman. How everybody doing? Bank, bank, bank.
Yeah.
Bank, 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 bank. Boom. Yeah. Wait a minute, just give me a chance. Give me a chance. I'll get it.
You know what? I'll just bring a cat out there. People be so high. Yeah. Rock on, man. I'll go to 1969, hanging out at Woodstock. There was some black folks there. It was good. It was good. 68, nah,
I'm telling you, 69 would not be all you think it is.
I'll come back before it gets too hard, man.
You don't want to go past 1984.
Phrase, nigga. Magic portal. Hold on.
Yeah, those bullets will follow you through the portal.
Yeah, I thought you had.